Welcome to downtown Coeur d'Alene. Right behind me is the Coeur d'Alene Resort, the thing that anchored all the tourism in our area. If you like living in an area where it's close to shops, coffee shops, restaurants, it's walkability, parks, the lake, Tubbs Hill right behind us right here. Downtown Coeur d'Alene may be for you. We're gonna vlog 3 of the top neighborhoods in downtown Coeur d'Alene with Cody and Lexi, Sanders Beach, the Fort Grounds, the Garden District, 3 primetime areas you might wanna live in. So if you're interested, stay tuned. All right, guys, I'm Conor Hammons with the Living CDA Realty Group, brokered by EXP. I picked up Cody and Lexi with me today, and we're gonna vlog 3 neighborhoods in downtown Coeur d'Alene. We're walking to the car right now, walking through one of the coolest parts of downtown, which is McEwen Park. It's a huge park right at the base of Tubbs Hill. If you love videos like this, we do them about living, working, playing here in North Idaho. If you love watching them, make sure you subscribe and tap that little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video. And you gotta reach out. If you want to move up here and find the right neighborhood, we can't help you out unless you call, text, or email. So reach out and get a hold of us. All right, guys, walking through McEwen. Lexi, talk a little bit about Tubbs Hill and why it's such a cool part of downtown.
Gosh, I don't know the actual history of Tubbs Hill. I know there was a man named Mr. Tubbs who donated the land 100+ years ago. Gosh, I wish I knew better history, Connor. This is not my strong suit, but
not history, just why it's why people enjoy it throughout all the seasons.
I mean, it's just the perfect place to go on. It's not really a hike per se. It's more of, you know, I guess there are areas that you could hike straight up to the top, but
a leisurely stroll.
It is leisurely, and there are lots of places to stop along the way and swim or jump off the rocks, which is still popular with the teens. It was popular with my crew when we were coming up, but
absolutely.
I grew up not far from there, and we used to walk around Tubbs Hill every day when I was a kid, and just it's a beautiful walk, and it's right on the water, so you can't go wrong.
There it is right there, and then right at the base of it here is McEwen Park. We'll stop real quick and Cody, share a little bit about what is awesome about McEwen, the events they do.
Yeah, so McEwen's pretty cool. So in the summertime we have live after 5. So it's basically everybody gathers. There's live music, there's some food vendors, drinks. It's a good time, good family time. And then in the winter time, they'll set up an ice rink out here and you can ice skate. So, and then obviously if you're brave enough, you could do a polar plunge in the lake, which seems to be super popular nowadays.
I do it.
Yeah.
It's a cold plunge.
Yeah. And then you got the park out here for kids. You've got a dog park for if you want to bring your pet down here. You know, it's right by the water, right by Tubbs Hill, right by the resort, so you can walk to any restaurant you want to. It's just a great location.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable spot. Tons of green space, a lot of events. They do hold kids races throughout the summer. You know, what is it, Ironman?
Yeah.
Kids Ironman. Our office is right behind there, so we spend a lot of time down here walking to all the places. But let's go take a look at the neighborhoods. We're gonna start at the Fort Grounds, super cool old neighborhood where our college is based. I got to show this picture too, because before they made it into a huge park, McEwen had an amazing baseball field. I used to play American Legion baseball. It was right at the base of Tubbs Hill, right next to the water. So we'd play our games, jump into the lake in between doubleheaders. You got to check it out. So I'm not gonna lie, when that baseball field was gone for this amazing park, I was a little bit sad. A lot of great memories playing ball there, but I can't lie, this park is utilized way more after they they made it this giant McEwen Park. So Lexi has amazing stories everywhere downtown. You're just talking about. We're on the Dike Road right now, which goes all the way around North Idaho College campus. It's really the entrance of Coeur d'Alene Lake into the Spokane River, and there's just, in the summertime, it is probably just the most hopping place with people, you know, stand-up paddleboarding, kayaking, swimming. It's the spot to be. Especially growing up, right?
Yeah.
High school,
sure.
Middle school, you'd be down here hanging out, doing the summertime thing.
Volleyball, the
Yep.
NIC kids right over there.
Yep.
Art on the Green, which is super fun. It's one of my favorite weekends in Coeur d'Alene, is held on the NIC campus right over here.
Yep.
On my left. And then on your right, paddleboards, volleyball. There's actually people on the green right now.
Yeah, so September, quite a bit different look, but still people down there, no one in the water, it's freezing, but yeah, so this is Fort Grounds. The Dike Road pretty much goes all the way around the Fort Grounds neighborhood, and we're gonna stop and Cody's gonna talk a little bit about the neighborhood, price points you'll see in here, what type of housing you'll see in here, and get you all the info. Driving at pretty much the Dike Road ends at the city park, and you can see the neighborhood butts up to the very east side of City Park and the whole resort area, Independence Point, but beautiful old historic homes. We're gonna go to one of the coolest little spots inside of the Fort Grounds neighborhood and stop off there. All right, Cody, so they just put some new amenities next to the Fort Grounds. Talk about those a little bit.
Yeah, so they have invested some more money for the city in here, and we've got a nice park that they've created that has a skate park, some playground equipment, there's pickleball courts, there's tennis courts. It's pretty much, I mean, and then there's also, they put a lot of money into their softball field where the college plays, and then there's a carousel down there that backs up to the city park, what Conor was talking about. I call it Castle Park, but either City Park, Castle Park, but it's pretty cool. There's so much to do down here, especially in the summertime. Yeah, you can pretty much bring anybody down here and they'll have a good time.
That way.
we're in the heart of the fort grounds. This is the Fort Sherman Chapel, constructed in 1880, so it's one of Coeur d'Alene's oldest buildings, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so fort grounds, we've been telling you a little bit about the amenities around here, but if you're looking for a house, you want to live in this area, this is one of the most historic parts of Coeur d'Alene. So a lot of homes that were built in the early 1900s, and a lot of them still have their historic charm, which is really cool. A lot of people have kept that and just remodeled it over the years. You can start getting something in here that's a little bit farther away from the water, like the 600-700 range, that needs some work, maybe a smaller square footage, and then you can go all the way up to $3 million. The houses that face the water that we did some footage for you on. Yeah.
And I would also say, add to that there's just not a lot of inventory, because not a lot of people, once they live in the fort grounds, they don't sell when they're in the fort grounds. So it's a little bit smaller of a neighborhood. Out of the three, I would say it's probably maybe the smallest in amount of houses, but it's one of the most cool locations to be in. You're in the heart of everything. Yeah, we're on to the next one. Neighborhood to, I think, mine and Lexi's, our favorite neighborhoods, which we're biased because they're where we grew up. Sanders Beach. I know I've talked about it before, but that's the second one. And in order to go from Fort Grounds, you got to go right up Sherman Avenue. Let's talk a little bit about Sherman, Lexi, and what it means in terms of when you get here, you hear a lot about Sherman because a lot of things are happening down here, right?
Yeah, so all the restaurants in downtown Coeur d'Alene, or a lot of them, are on Sherman. There's lots of nice shops. The Coeur d'Alene Resort opened what they call the Plaza Shops. Gosh, not long after the resort itself was built. But so there's shopping. There's lots of fun little restaurants. Lots of history. A couple little parks down here. Yeah, you're still only about a block from McEwen Field, so we're not far from where we started, but lots of great things to do and places to walk around and check out, you know, kind of the heart of downtown Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah, it's kind of, if you're visiting, if you're staying at the resort, it's where it's the hub. And there's a lot of we have street fairs, we have parades, we have farmers market on Wednesdays throughout the summer. It's just kind of where you go if you're into the action. So we're heading east on Sherman from the fort grounds and gonna be pretty much past McEwen Park to the east side of Tubbs Hill, where the neighborhood is called Sanders Beach. We're gonna give you a tour and talk to you a little bit about it. Wait, talk about your Sanders Beach paper route.
Well, so actually it was like, I was too young, so I had to like sub it out from somebody else who had a paper route. But I used to have to go around and collect cash from all these people, and the woman that lived in the house right over there, I'll never forget, paid me in pennies, which was, you know, as a probably 8-year-old, which is scary. I was always very upset. I had to count out all the pennies.
Okay, as we get to Sanders Beach here, I wanted to just show you. It's located on the backside of Tubbs Hill. We're gonna have Lexi talk a little bit about the housing, the neighborhood, what you can find here in Sanders. But I wanted to show you the east entrance to Tubbs Hill, which pretty much starts Sanders Beach. We got a marina to my left, and then the trail right to my right. So the marina's right there. Again, Tubbs Hill is pretty much an anchor point for Coeur d'Alene and downtown. It's a 2-mile walking trail, amazingly well kept. Places to swim, there's little beaches around it, jump off the rocks into the water. Definitely spent a lot of days in the summer of my childhood in that area, jumping off rocks.
Of Sanders neighborhood. This is Sanders Beach. Off to this side is the backside of Tubbs Hill. So where we were earlier, you could just walk around and end up right over there in this beautiful neighborhood. It's a mixture of very historic homes, some newer homes. There are some little bungalows that over time have been torn down and replaced with larger, more modern homes. Right over on this side of me, not far, is the floating green HAYDEN's golf course over there, which is pretty central to downtown Coeur d'Alene as well. But let's just take a look around.
All right, we're on East Lakeshore Drive. You just saw some amazing historic big mansion type of homes. Price points in Sanders Beach. What are you seeing right now, Lexi? It varies quite a bit, but we're right on the water, so this is gonna be the high point. Give us kind of a range of prices.
I mean, I think on the low end, you're probably in the 500-600s when you're a little further north. Down here, multi-million.
Yep.
I mean, depending on which home, they're all so different. It's hard to give an exact number, but the houses right behind us are many millions.
5-7 million. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful area. All those houses on East Lakeshore Drive have their own private beach across the street. They don't come up for sale very often. There was a couple that are pending right now that you can look online, but amazing, beautiful views, great location, and it's all walkable and bikeable to downtown. Okay, I gotta talk about this. We're coming up on Lost Avenue in Sanders Beach. A super unique part of our downtown neighborhoods, and Lexi can attest to this because we both grew up down here, is in the winter, what do?
They close the streets and let the kids sled. They put up signs and it just becomes like a fun sledding hill area.
Yeah, so you can walk up, meet all your friends, top of the hill at Lost Avenue, and it's all blocked off from cars. They don't plow it ever, so it's just an awesome sledding hill. They have one here in Sanders Beach, and then they have one in my current neighborhood that I live in that we're gonna tour at the end, the Garden District. So pretty cool downtown nuance. And we'll talk a little bit more about a couple other features that Sanders Beach has before we move on to Garden District.
Did they ever sell the one up down here?
I don't think so. I think they took it off market. So we're driving down Mullen right now, Mullen Avenue, which kind of cuts right through Sanders Beach. And it's significant because there's a trail, and Lexi will talk a little bit about the trail.
So what connects all of Coeur d'Alene by bike is something called the Centennial Trail. It runs all the way down along the water, down to an area called Higgins Point, and then all the way back through town, through Riverstone, obviously through Sanders Beach where we are right now, and then to Spokane, which is about 30 miles away from Coeur d'Alene. So it's a pretty long trail. It's used almost year-round. I feel like people, you can pretty much start and stop wherever you want, or go the whole distance if you want to. But it's a great place to bike or walk or jog, whatever you want to do. But down along the lake, there's actually fun little extra exercise things that they have set up. Have you ever used those? They have like bars and different things along.
Like 4 years ago, back when I was working out. I need to get back on the trail. But yeah, so we're going down Mullen, which pretty much ends the neighborhood of Sanders Beach. The very east side of it ends at Coeur d'Alene Lake Drive, which then goes around the lake. You'll go past the Coeur d'Alene Resort Golf Course with the floating green, which Lexi pointed out when we were down on the beach. We have a couple new restaurants that are popping up, which is, ties into the east side of Sherman Avenue. Vantage Point Brewing. Vantage Point Brewing is a huge brewery that just opened up and restaurant, and I'll give you a look at that one real quick. And you got Michael D's restaurant right across the street. So again, a lot of places to eat and drink and shop. Sanders Beach is walkable and bikeable to all of that. So we're heading back up East Sherman. We're gonna go start heading west now to the neighborhood that I currently live in, and probably the third, I don't know in those orders, but that in that order, but the third neighborhood that you gotta know about, the Garden District, and I'll tell you a little bit about why. All right, welcome to the third neighborhood on our tour, the Garden District. As you can see behind me, this is the Shared Harvest Garden down in the middle of Garden District. It's a really cool thing in terms of like all the neighborhood people can rent out a little space and you can garden. There's not big lots where you can have a lot of land and do your own gardens, so it's a really cool community thing that they do, and they host a dinner every year that's really fun. So wanted to just start here. We're gonna do a little tour of the neighborhood that I currently live in. There's a big sense of community in this neighborhood. There's a couple cool features, and it's the only downtown neighborhood that actually has a school in it out of the three that we're touring. So we're gonna take a look at that right now. right, so a couple cool features about the Garden District that's unique to it downtown is there is both a school and an amazing church right here that Lexi and I both have a lot of history with. Right behind me here, I'll show you, is St. Thomas Catholic Church. Lexi got married in that church.
I did. And one of my favorite things is you can see it when you're hiking Tubbs Hill because it's so tall. So
yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful, iconic church in Coeur d'Alene. And also Sorensen Elementary, Sorensen Magnet School, it's called now, is right across the street in the heart of the Garden District. Lexi and I both past students of Sorensen before it was a magnet school. Right now it's like one of the most coveted elementary schools in all of Coeur d'Alene. They have a lot of amazing arts and music programs, very high scores, and it's, you know, they have a wait list to get in, so it's kind of a high demand school. When we were going, not so much. It was just a downtown school. But we love it. A lot of history here. St. Thomas and Sorensen in the Garden District. It's unique, and it's, again, just like Sanders Beach, just like the Fort Grounds. It's more on the north side of downtown, but walking distance and biking distance to downtown, the park, the lake, Tubbs Hill, all those fun things. Okay guys, well that concludes our tour, our vlog tour of the 3 downtown neighborhoods you need to know about. If this is the spot for you, if you're looking to be close to the water, to Tubbs Hill, to shops and restaurants, reach out, we can find a spot for you. If it's not the spot for you, if you like acreage, if you want to be out of town, if you don't want neighbors real close to you, it's probably not the spot for you, but we can find that for you as well. But you got to reach out, call, text, email us, however you can do it. We'll find you the right spot. And until the next video, we'll see you later.